It's time for the Onebar Lupagus Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the Onebar Lupagus Show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and this is our full-blown, butt-naked game preview. Week 1, Minnesota Vikings hosting the Green Bay Packers.
Hell yeah. As you can see, I got my Minnesota Vikings smoking jacket on.
Ooh,
it's
that's
so
a good
soft.
jacket.
Feels so good. Hell yeah. It's big time now. This is our first official pregame pod vid of the year. So we're going to lay this thing out just like we used to with our podcasts. Anybody who's listened to us back in the day, we have certain things we have to hit up before the game, and should be a pretty fun little time here.
Yes, and before we get into this one, make sure to check out our new segment, Scoling with the Enemy. We got Bazaraski joining us talking Packers, Vikings. Check out that video. It's a dandy.
Hell yeah. Old Baz. What a guy.
Old Baz.
All right, so let's get to know these hated division rivals, probably our number one rival in the North. Last year, the Packers finished 13-3. They won the NFC North. They got all the way to the NFC title game, but they were destroyed by the San Francisco 49ers. So first of all, Onebar. Will the Packers be better or worse than they were in 2019?
13-3 is pretty tough to top. They had a couple games there that they probably actually should have lost. So record-wise, I think they'll be worse. As far as talent-wise, I think they'll probably be about the same. I mean, they didn't really gain anything. They didn't really lose much. So I think they're probably kind of with the Vikings, 10-6 to 11-5, somewhere in that range. So record-wise, I'll say worse.
That was a great segue, and I also agree that they'll be worse. I don't think they're going to be bad, but I do not think they're going to be 13-3. But you mentioned they didn't really lose anybody, and that's the next thing we're talking about. New faces. There's only really two I think worth mentioning. First-round pick Jordan Love, who's looked like a complete freaking turd so far. Supposedly, when he's throwing the ball deep, looks like he's doing a little flutter pass, and he is just not looking like a first-round pick from everything I've heard out of Green Bay camp. And then running back A.J. Dillon. Again, I know this was a huge reach, but one thing that does concern me about A.J. Dillon is the Vikings don't tend to handle physical backs real well, and this guy is the epitome of a physical bruising running back. So, a little bit to be worried about there. But nothing else, I think, really worth mentioning as far as who they brought in.
No, I mean, Ricky Wagner, their backup right tackle.
Wasn't he there last year?
Was he really?
I don't know. I felt like he was. Maybe he wasn't.
Well, maybe he was, but A.J. Dillon, you're right. Even though they reached for him probably a round or two early, the fact that he's just a big bruising back, we know what Eddie Lacy used to do to us. Hopefully A.J. Dillon is just a complete turd, because I don't like that. That scares me a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, Jamal Williams is supposed to be a physical back too, and I think Dillon. I mean, I don't know. I don't expect him to get a lot of carries this week, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yeah, maybe Ricky Wagner was this year, but again,
I just confirmed Ricky Wagner is a new face.
As worth mentioning, he'll probably be starting. Billy Turner's hurt, so I think Wagner will be in there, but he didn't really have any issues. Didn't cause us any problems when he's with Detroit, so I think it's fine. Not worried. All right, so let's go. One segment we always do with these is who is your favorite member of the opposing team of all time. So who's your – and it's hard to say because I know we all hate Packers. Once they put on the green and gold, it's disgusting. But if you had to pick a Packer.
Favorite Packer of all time? God, yeah. You go first. This is gross. I don't even like doing this.
This is easy. I mean, for me, it's Brett Favre. And when he came over from the Vikings, it was so sweet to the Vikings. When he led us to those wins over the Packers all the way to the 2009 championship game where we should have won. And what I've actually appreciated more about Favre as I've really gone back and, you see the film. This guy was a character. He was kind of old school. He loved playing the game. I don't think he really gave two shits about what he was doing out there. He would throw that football. If they were quadruple covered, he would try to throw the ball to the receiver. So Brett Favre, a guy who I loved beating, hated losing to, but looking back now, I just really appreciate how much he loved playing the game of football.
Will you look back and appreciate the way Aaron Rodgers played?
I probably will because.
Oh God, never. They're two different guys.
No, I'll maybe not appreciate. I'll respect him. I do now, and I think I always will. He's damn good.
Yeah, no, you got to respect him. But Favre was just this fun-loving, gunslinging dude
Yeah.
where you nailed it. He is probably the favorite Green Bay Packer of all time, especially the fact that he did come to the Vikings. I'll just say, just to mix it up, I'll go with Reggie White. Dude was just dominant, fantastic. One of the best defensive linemen ever to play. And he was a big reason why the Packers were so damn good after they signed him. So I'll go Reggie White, but Brett Favre is, I think you got that one right.
Yeah, there's a couple others too. I mean, Batman Carroll was really good for a long time.
God.
Oh yeah, forgot he sucked.
I did like Leroy Horde, or not Leroy Horde, Leroy Butler.
Yeah, okay.
Safety, he was good. He was good.
All right, give me one Packer right now who's on the Packers that you would love to see put on a purple jersey and join the Vikings.
Wow. Ooh. I am gonna go with Devontae Adams just because Adams and Thielen would be just fantastic, and then throw Justin Jefferson in the slot. Boom, done.
Wow. I'm gonna go with David Bakhtiari, left tackle. You know, Riley Reif isn't really anything special. I know he's a team captain. I know he's a long-time veteran, but he's average at best. Bakhtiari is a stud. He would come in, majorly upgrade this offensive line, and I feel much better with Bakhtiari and Brian O'Neill bookending our offensive line.
Yeah, and my number two, I just gotta say this because I'm mad, is Kenny Clark. That guy is very underrated. Big old beefy guy in the middle, makes things happen. I'm very concerned about him on Sunday.
I thought you were gonna say Robert Tonyan.
Never. I'm not concerned about him at all.
You know, I keep looking at myself in this little box here, and I feel like I should have a cigar in my mouth.
You should. Lazy ass, go find one. Put something in your mouth.
Oh my God. All right. So what scares you? Not just about the Packers, but what scares you about the game coming up this Sunday?
Well, Aaron Jones scares me. He lit us up last year in both games. I think until proven otherwise, our run defense will probably actually be worse. So that scares the living shit out of me. And then obviously the linebackers on their side ripped us up. Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith. They were not very nice to us last year as well. So those are two things that are very, very, very scary. What scares you?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I don't like mold on bread. Freaks me out.
Mold on bread? Well, just throw it away.
I don't know it. It freaks me out. All right. Yeah, you mentioned Aaron Jones, and I had the Smith brothers. Kenny Clark also scares the shit out of me. What he did to Garrett Bradbury last year. I hope to God he has gotten stronger. Otherwise, it's going to be disgusting. Otherwise, if I'm the Packers, I just put him up right over Pat Elflein, let him just destroy us right there.
Oh, God.
What Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams might do to our young corners horrifies me. You got a veteran quarterback, an all-time great quarterback, and a slick-ass great receiver like Devontae Adams. On inexperienced corners, that could just be very, very ugly. And this is not package related, but it scares the shit out of me. We have no backup safety going into this game. If Harrison Smith or Anthony Harris get hurt, we're fucked. I don't know what is going to happen. I mean, you can mix some coverages up. You can put a guy there who's not going to know what the hell they're doing. It's horrifying, and that keeps me up at night.
Yeah, those are all very, very valid. Another thing that is just a little bit scary is, did you mention our young corners going against Devontae Adams? That's very scary.
Yeah, I did. Were you listening?
No, I still was thinking about you talking about moldy bread.
Big bunny ears behind you. I thought you hear everything I'm saying. Tricks are for kids.
Bad cereal.
All right. Don't drink the milk after it's done, but that was all right. All right,
Okay.
What does not scare you about the Green Bay Packers?
What doesn't scare me about the Packers? Well, definitely their tight ends. Mercedes Lewis, Bob Tunyon, Chase Sternberger, who has done absolutely nothing. That doesn't scare me. Their defensive ends also don't scare me. I mean, Kenny Clark in the middle, yes, he is fantastic. But Dean Lowry and Tyler Lancaster, I couldn't tell you jack shit about those guys. They do not scare me.
Yeah, I'm not scared of the right tackle situation either. You got Ricky Wagner stepping in for Billy Turner. He couldn't stop us in Detroit. There's no way he's going to stop us this week. I don't know if it's Yannick or Adenabo who's going to be lined up on him. It don't matter. They're going to destroy him. And I'm actually not really worried about their secondary. I know they got some big names there: Jared Alexander, Kevin King, Darnell Savage. They got some young high picks there, but Adam Thielen schooled these guys in the past. He can school them again. This secondary doesn't really worry me.
Yeah, you and me kind of disagree on that one. I think their secondary is pretty damn good. I mean, Alexander seems like he either shows up or he doesn't show up. Very confident fellow, I'll say that. But Kevin King, I think, is underrated as well. So I don't like their corners, mostly because I think they're really good.
They're nothing. They ain't shit.
Wow.
All right. How do the Vikings lose this game?
Vikings lose this game by our corners coming in young and just getting absolutely worked. I think Devontae Adams, if they overcompensate for Devontae Adams, put Anthony Harris cheating a little bit on him, helping out whoever the corner is on him. And then I hate to even say this, but Allen Lazard does scare me a little bit, just the fact that he's got that big body. We're not very good against big-bodied receivers, and them taking advantage of that, again, on another young receiver.
I don't know how you can say we're not good against big-bodied receivers when you really haven't seen the guys who are going to be playing the Sunday play. So I don't think you can really say that at this point. Did you mention I think the Vikings lose. They can't stop the run. Aaron Jones just rips them up. You can't pressure Rodgers. For some reason, Yannick and Denebo can't get back there, and they have the time to take advantage of our young corner group. And then if we just get destroyed by the Smith brothers on the outside and Kenny Clark in the middle, those are things that happened last year. And if they happen again, there's no way in hell the Vikings are going to start out the season 1-0.
Wow, that is bold, bold, bold. When I think big receivers, I think Alshon Jeffrey, the guy rips us a new one every time. Allen Robinson, as always, has big games. And it might be different guys, but we got the same coaches. So it is very scary. And these guys are young. They're young. They don't know any better.
Yeah, but they also don't know not to be afraid.
Wow.
They might.
All right, hey, appreciate that. I'm going to sleep better tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome. So how do the Vikings win?
How do they win? Pound that beautiful ball to Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, he showed it last year in game 1 against the Packers where he can rip them up. We need to rely heavily on him, get Madison in the mix, and then hopefully chuck a few long balls. But it's all going to come down to what we do on that run game.
Well, and then for that to work, the O-line has to step up. They don't have to dominate. They have to be at least average. They got to open up holes in the running game, and then also give Kirk Cousins time to scan the field. A lot of times last year against those games against the Packers, Cousins had no time. So if he gets just a couple seconds, at least go to a second option or maybe even see that third option, that would be huge. Also on defense, the Vikings have to get in Aaron Rodgers' face. They got to make him feel uncomfortable. Or if that's with their D ends or blitzing linebackers or corners, whatever it takes, Rodgers cannot have time. If he has time, we are screwed. And we got to stop the run. And that's what worries me so bad. Shamar Stephen needs to step up. Jaleel Johnson, whoever is in there. We got to stop the run. We cannot let Aaron Jones get 6-7 yards a carry. Can't have A.J. Dillon going for 240 on us. We will not win the game if he does.
Jesus.
And also, I think if the corners step up and if they play above what everybody's expecting, that would be a huge boost for the Vikings and definitely would help our chances to win this football game.
Yeah, I think the way our corners are obviously going to be a big talker on Sunday. I think they either come out balls to the wall, so hungry to get out there and just do something. And I think they either just go above and beyond or they completely step on their dicks and just get smoked by a very, very smart quarterback. I don't think there's going to be anything in between.
Yeah, and the one thing that I'm kind of feeling a little bit better about from hearing from camp was these guys did play with no fear. They weren't intimidated by Adam Thielen. They weren't intimidated by the high first-round pick of Justin Jefferson. They got in everybody's face, and they just did what they're told to do. So I'm hoping that's what happens. But yeah, it's
Well, when you look at Jeff Gladney and Cam Dantzler in college, that's what they had. They had swagger. They didn't really seem to give a shit who they were going up against. So hopefully that translates to the NFL, because I would love a corner with just somebody that just does not give a shit, because we had Xavier Rhodes, Trey Waynes, pretty quiet guys.
Can't care. It's like the time you asked Kelly Lewis to dance. I mean, you knew you were going to get shot down, but you went in there with balls out, and you didn't care.
Didn't care.
Did you dance? Did you dance with her?
I don't want to talk about it.
Let's. I want to go back a little bit to something that does scare me about this game. If Amir Abdullah gets a carry, I will be doing a video topless.
Very, very true. I'm
Mike Boone
reminded our audience. Amir Abdullah gets a carry over Mike Boone. Lupagus is topless for our next episode. So keep that in mind when you're watching the game.
Yeah, you might not be able to watch the whole video because it'll be so horrifying what you see.
I've seen it. It's gross.
I mean, I don't know if you'll see my nipples from this angle, though.
We'll make it happen.
All right, so usually this is the part of the game where we would do our predictions, but we are not going to do that now. We're going to save that for a little treat, maybe Sunday morning, late Saturday. I'm not sure if that's going to go up, but we are going to hold that off for just now.
Yes, we are.
I'm not even sure how I feel right now about this game, how it's going to go yet.
I think it's going to be close. But I already have my prediction in mind, so you make sure to tune in.
My heart's telling me one thing, my balls are telling me another, my mind is telling me a third thing.
Wow,
They're all fighting right now.
I cannot wait to hear that.
All right, so until we come back with that prediction video, remember this: squirrels cause the most power outages in the United States. Squirrels.